Hi guys, I hope you are really well. This is a video all about the different usages of the word other or others. So using the French word, autre, les autres, d'autres. Um, and yeah, if you're new to the channel, please remember to click like on the video and to subscribe. And if you do find the video useful, do please remember that I have a Ko-fi account underneath in the link where I do gratefully receive donations. This is also, I've had a really, really tough week this week. And this video is a shout out to a couple of people. If you're somebody that has had a really tough week, but you still make it into work, if you're somebody who's in a lot of pain, but you still get your stuff done, I've got somebody that I absolutely adore who just didn't feel like human beings this week, but just produced work at the highest level. I've got a student who, she's a doctor and she just wasn't feeling well and she's exhausted because she works so hard, and she just did such a phenomenally good class, even though she was under the weather. So it's just a shout out to people who just really try, even when things are trying, all right? So we've got your back. We recognize this effort, Good. So this video is going to clear up a couple of common misconceptions and give you some common usages. So I could do a longer video on this topic, but it would just get a bit lengthy. And I really want to just clear up the main issues. And then I want to talk quite specifically about probably the main issue, which is d'autres versus des autres, all right? So let's start. First things first, the word other, okay? In French is spelled A-U-T-R-E or A-U-T-R-E-S, depending if it's singular or plural. So straight away, acknowledge the fact that there will be an S on anything other that's relating to a plural situation, whether it's going with a plural noun, like the other people, or whether it's taking the role of the other, like the others. Yeah, if it's talking about plural, it will have an S on the end of it. But this word will not be sounding the S unless the next word begins with a vowel. So you're not going to hear les autres unless you've got a vowel, like les autres enfants, les autres amis, whatever. You're not going to hear this S. But remember that the S is there if you are using the word other in any way, shape or form relating to plural. Next thing, A-U-T-R-E-S. I'm sitting at a weird angle. A-U-T-R-E-S, or A-U-T-R-E, other, is spelt A-U. And everywhere else in French that you see A-U is O, O. Like aujourd'hui, or je vais aller au café. A café au lait, for example. We don't say les autres. Yeah, it's just with time become les autres. Yeah, it's like oh kind of quality. It's not an O, all right? Good. Next up, if you use the word other, okay, you are never going to go straight into the word other. You are always going to need some form of an article before it or something similar. What I mean by that is, if you said in English, I'm going to buy other brands, or I'm going to see other people, or she's going to study other books, we go straight from the verb study. So she's going to study other books. Now, we already know in French that we do like a little bit of something before a noun. So, for example, if I said, I'm going to buy coffee, I can go straight from the verb buy into the word coffee. I'm going to buy coffee. If I said, I'm going to buy coffee in French, I would need to say, alors je vais acheter du café. I would need this, partitive article. I'd need this du, de la, day business going on there. Coffee is fabulous if you're tired. Le café, I would need a the there. So if you don't understand those rules, and they are going to become quite useful for this video in a moment, can you remember to look at the day versus lay video? D-E-S vs L-E-S, and I shall try and pop that underneath. And if I don't remember to pop it underneath, could you please tell me? So other, one of the issues that we're going to face is when you spring straight into the word other, and then a noun, a plural noun. So, she's going to see other people, other children, other colours, other towns. Yeah, and this is one of the mistakes that the lovely Brooklyn made. She's done one class with me and she hasn't even covered this yet. She's doing phenomenally. which is what made me think to do this video. So let's start talking about some common usages then. So first use, okay, this is one of these words which will precede a noun as an adjective. So a coffee, un café, another coffee, un autre café. A girl, une fille. Oh no, that's another girl, une autre fille. Yeah, so it will precede the noun that we're talking about, okay? It can be itself a pronoun for, it can take the place of a noun. So I'm going to see the other, one, l'autre. Yeah, I'm going to see the others, les autres. Yeah, the others. So it does very well after words like a, so un and une, masculine and feminine, and the words, le, la, and les. So un autre, une autre, les autres with the link, l'autre, le and la will both go to the autre. If we are getting into a situation where you say, I'm going to visit, for example, I'm going to see other cities. So in other words, we are looking at the word other as an adjective before the noun cities, or I'm going to buy other ingredients, I'm going to visit other countries. Then this here is where you are going to need the word d'autres, which is D'(Autres), which is probably the biggest mess to do with autres in French, because you all want to say des autres. Let's talk about why. So one of the usages of the de in French, just de, as opposed to du, de, la, and des, is when you have a plural noun and an adjective which goes before it. So when you have a plural noun, so that's more than one thing, and the adjective word you are using to modify it happens to go before. And as you know, with nouns, a lot of the adjectives in French go afterwards. Une maison blanche, yeah, une maison intéressante, une maison, let's go, une fille bizarre, une fille éduquée, une fille, whatever. There are a few, as you know, which precede the noun. Une jeune fille, a young girl. Une belle fille, a beautiful girl. Un beau garçon, a good-looking, boy. So when you have a noun which is plural, a thing which is plural, and the adjective which is modifying it goes before, and that's obviously plural as well, you don't allow the word des, day, if you're using it in the general partitive sense. If you said like from the new houses, so for example, the kitchens, of the new houses have all been ordered from whatever shop, fine, then you can. Alors, les cuisines des nouvelles maisons, of course you can. But your standard, I'm going to build houses, je vais construire des maisons. I'm going to build new houses, je vais construire de nouvelles maisons. So in other words, we pop a de before an adjective when it goes before a plural noun, which is why for most of the time in French, you are going to need to say d'autres, D'(Autres), rather than des autres. So for example, I'm going to see other towns. It says Brooklyn, je vais voir d'autres villes. I have other friends, j'ai d'autres amis. I am going to buy other ingredients, je vais acheter d'autres ingrédients. If you said I'm going to buy the other ingredients, then fine, use the word the. Je vais acheter les autres ingrédients. That's fine. Yeah, you can use the les there. So when would you use des autres? You might like to think, when would you use des other than when you use the partitive du, de, la, des with a noun as standard? And one of the other times that you would use des in French is when you were combining the preposition de, which needs to be there, and the article the, which needs to be there. So you could sort of round up and say, if you need to say des autres, you are using a phrase in English which contains the. And you are using a situation where you have the preposition de with the word the. For example, This is kind of similar to when you'd say beaucoup d'amis versus beaucoup des amis, lots of friends versus lots of the friends. So it's confusing because I've just told you that if you're going to go into a noun and you're not talking specifically about that noun, you're not saying restaurants are fabulous. Les restaurants, we're talking general. So if I just said, I'm going to look for restaurants, alors je vais chercher des restaurants. A standard in French, you would shove a des, des, before a noun. Unless it were all restaurants, alors je vais chercher les restaurants. Or if it were the word the in English, I'm going to look for the restaurants that you've mentioned. Alors je vais chercher les restaurants dont tu as parlé. So in other words, it's a bit the same with quantity words. Lots of restaurants, beaucoup de restaurants. Lots of the restaurants, beaucoup des restaurants. It's the same with d'autres and des autres. So if you had a the in your English, which needed to follow a de, you're quite welcome to say des autres. So for example, I'm going to talk about the other restaurants. I've already spoken about this one. I'm going to speak about the other ones. Je vais parler des autres restaurants. Did we have a need for a de in the French? Yes, je vais parler de. Did we have a the in the English? Yes, I'm going to talk about the restaurants. Therefore, je vais parler des autres restaurants. She got rid of the books. So the verb is se débarrasser de, which ends in a de, which is one of our checklist things. And the books is les livres. So elle s'est débarrassée des livres. The presence of that des there, our brain in French knows that there's a de there because it's to get rid of with the de. And the fact that we're hearing des tells us that it's the book specifically. Yeah? She was speaking about the books. Elle parlait des livres, de les livres. She was speaking about books. No, she's speaking about other books. Oh, I've read that book. Oh, no. She was speaking about other books. Elle parlait d'autres livres because it's a plural with the word other. She was speaking about the other books, as in the other books on the list that I gave you. Elle parlait des autres livres. Yeah? So a nice little tip is to think if you have the word the in English before your word other and your phrase needs a de before it, for whatever reason it needs the de before the, it will be des autres. Apart from that, it will need to be d'autres. All right? We can pop d'autres, at the start of a sentence. Other people have decided to come. People is plural. D'autres personnes ont décidé de venir. Yeah? We can start a sentence with it. Of course we can. It doesn't have to be, she's going to see other people. Elle va voir d'autres personnes. Yeah, we don't need that at all. Next up. There are a few choice, nice little phrases with other that I think would do you quite good to know. So, would do you some good to know. Would do you good to know. Or you'd do well to know. So, d'autres, what else? Singular. Quoi d'autre? What else? Singular. Quoi d'autre? Who else? Qui d'autre? Something else. Quelque chose d'autre? Yeah. So it gives us this else quality. Yeah. Apart from, like à part, autre que. So apart from what you've already eaten, apart from the pizza, what have you eaten today? Autre que la pizza, qu'est-ce que t'as mangé, aujourd'hui? So it's a little bit fancier, but yeah, that's fine. Nor one nor the other. Neither one nor the other. Ni l'un ni l'autre. Yeah? So she has two sons, and neither of them remembered her birthday. Ni l'un ni l'autre. La honte, the shame. All right? Great little expressions with autre. What else? Let me have a little look-see. Let's have a little look at some expressions with autre and talk about them for you. So I am going to look for other expressions. Je vais chercher d'autres expressions. So I'm going to other expressions, which is plural. I'm not saying des autres. Oh, my battery's about to die. How marvellous. So I need another cable. Yeah, you see now that's a singular creature. Yeah, so if I said I need another cable, I'm quite welcome to use the word autre on its own there because I've got, oh, the computer's died. It'll come back to life because I've got, il me faut un autre câble. I need the other cable, il me faut l'autre câble. I'm quite comfortable using other with these, with a and the before it, as I've said before, but not, go on, little computer, it's decided is it going to live? Rather interesting. Come on, what are you doing? Right, now start again now. That's it. So rien d'autre, nothing else. Rien d'autre. Yeah. What else? Quoi d'autre? Someone else. Quelqu'un d'autre. Neither one nor the other. Ni l'un ni l'autre. So there's a film, Agnès Jaoui, called I think it's Le goût des autres, like the taste of other people, because there's the of, there's the de, le goût, there's a de, and then there's the word the, of the others, of other people, le goût des autres, not d'autres, okay? So I think we've kind of covered the main differences, so let's quickly go over them again. If you're using, other as an adjective, and you've got a sensible word like a, possessives, my other car, mon autre voiture, her other son, son autre fils. Obviously, we're not going to, if I said her other daughter, son autre fille, because autre starts with a vowel, so obviously we won't say ma autre, even though it's feminine. So we're quite comfortable doing that. If we've got other as a word before a plural noun, so I'm going to see other shows when I'm in London, je vais voir d'autres spectacles. Yeah, I'm going to find other people who were interested in the same thing. Je vais trouver d'autres personnes. That's where we're going to go. Don't go into des autres unless you have a de, which is present, in any of its capacities, of, about, the, whatever, of, about, from, all three of those, from. She received a letter from the other girls. Elle a reçu une lettre de les autres filles. She was talking about the other girls. Elle parlait des autres filles. That's fine. She had need of the other girls. Elle avait besoin des autres filles. So your three usages of de there would all go, plus a les, would all go to des autres. She can see other girls from where she is on the, elle peut voir, elle arrive à voir d'autres filles, because we're not there using de before the de. We're just literally going other girls. So that will be d'autres. All right. Anything else I wanted to add? Something else, autre chose. You're in a shop in France and you order something. Monsieur, vous désirez quelque chose? Je peux vous aider? Je peux vous servir? Vous êtes servi? Have you been served? So you say, yes, I'd like this, and this. And then you say, the person in the shop might say, something else? Autre chose? Fine. Anything else? Let's have a little look-see. Oh yes, d'autre part. Lovely expression, d'autre part. Singular spelling, something else. Something else, d'autre part. Great expression. That's all obvious. Oh yes, on one hand, on the other hand. So from one side, from the other side. Yeah, d'un côté, from one side of the argument, de l'autre côté, from the from the other side. This is all fairly obvious. Anything that's particularly useful? No, I think that's fine. Quelque chose d'autre, qui d'autre? Oui, rien d'autre. Hmm. I think you guys would know this. I don't think this would pose a problem, but if you were basically then using the other, so like most adjectives, you can then make a noun out of it. So if you said, I'm going to go, do you want this dress? No, I'm going to take the other one. Non, non, je vais prendre l'autre. I'm going to go and see the others. So you've just seen your friends and you say, right, I'm going to go and see the others. Alors, je vais aller voir les autres. That I don't think poses you guys a problem. You're quite comfortable, I imagine, turning adjectives into noun. The main issue has been des autres versus d'autres. Yeah, that's kind of been the main issue. All right, guys. I hope you like this video. Alors, j'espère que cette vidéo, voilà. I'm trying to find a way to bring others into it now. Did you like this video? Est-ce que cette vidéo vous a plu? Don't forget, n'oubliez pas, I have other videos. J'ai d'autres vidéos. I want to talk to you about the other videos. Alors, j'aimerais bien vous parler des autres vidéos. Yeah? There is an other video that I would like you to see. Il y a une autre vidéo. The day versus lay. Good. Let me know if this was useful underneath. Please see that there's a copy link if it helps you. I'll speak to you guys soon. Take care.